He didn't look like a millionaire. He didn't act like one. And if you passed him on the street, you'd never imagine that this quiet, ordinary guy once pulled off one of the rarest transformations in trading history. From $50 to $2 million. A leap so unbelievable that even seasoned hedge fund managers dismissed it as impossible. But what they didn't know, what almost nobody knows, is that this wasn't luck. It wasn't a miracle. It was the result of obsession, discipline, and a level of emotional endurance most people will never experience. And then, it all vanished in a single night. Gone, like it never existed. Today, we're diving into the real story of the man who climbed a mountain that traders spend their whole lives trying to reach, only to fall off the edge the moment he touched the top. A story that will shock you, inspire you, and warn you. A story that proves the market doesn't care how smart you are. It doesn't care how far you've come. It gives and it takes. And if you stay until the end of this video, I'm going to show you the exact moment everything went wrong. The moment that turned a self-made millionaire back into nothing. This is a story every trader must hear. And before we begin, we are building the biggest finance and trading channel, so make sure to subscribe. Now let's start. He wasn't born into wealth. He wasn't surrounded by elite bankers or genius traders. He wasn't even in the finance world. He was a part-time worker, living paycheck to paycheck, scrolling through trading forums late at night because something inside him whispered, there has to be more. He never wanted fame. He only wanted freedom. And freedom for him meant money. The kind of money that erases fear. The kind that lets you breathe without worrying about tomorrow. The kind that turns I hope into I decide. One night, deep into a rabbit hole of trading stories, Daniel stumbled on a post. The only reason you're not rich is because you haven't taken enough shots. Something clicked. He took the last $50 in his bank account, money meant for food, and deposited it into a trading app. Not because it was smart, not because it was safe, but because it was his last shot. People love talking about success. They love the headlines, $50 to $2 million. But nobody talks about the nights Daniel didn't sleep. Nobody talks about when he studied charts until his eyes burned. Nobody talks about how he spent more hours reading than trading. He wasn't talented. He became talented. He wasn't smart. He became smart. He wasn't lucky. He made luck irrelevant. Every night after work, he locked himself in his room and analyzed thousands of charts. Crypto charts, Forex charts, penny stock charts, anything he could get his hands on. Not to predict the future, but to understand behavior. Because at some point he realized the market is not random. People are. And once he understood people, their fear, their greed, their impatience, he started to see patterns. Patterns that most traders never notice. Patterns that would eventually turn $50 into a fortune. His strategy was simple. He waited for assets that crashed 60 to 80% in panic. Then he bought them at their lowest emotional point. Not technical, emotional. He perfected the art of buying despair. And one night, it happened. A small altcoin crashed 87% after a news event that, as Daniel discovered, was already being corrected by the company. People panicked. Daniel didn't. He put his entire $50 into it. Within 24 hours, the coin doubled. $50 became $100. Most people would cash out. Daniel didn't. He doubled down. And when the coin tripled, he doubled down again. By the end of the week, $50 to $1,200. Then a month later, $1,200 to $10,000. It wasn't magic, it was conviction. And conviction in the hands of the right mind is more powerful than capital. Daniel's account grew faster than his emotions could keep up. $10,000 became $75,000 during a bull run. Then $75,000 became $300,000. He was winning so much, he forgot what losing felt like. And that's when the final push happened. A major crypto coin was about to announce a partnership with one of the biggest companies in the world. Rumors were everywhere. The whole market buzzed with tension. Daniel didn't hesitate. He put every dollar he had, nearly $700,000, into the asset. If he was wrong, he'd lose everything. If he was right, he'd never have to work again. And he was right. The partnership was real. The coins skyrocketed. $700,000 turned into $2 million. He did it. A normal guy, a small trader. From $50, $2 million, a climb that almost no one in history has ever achieved. He should have stopped. But success has a voice, and that voice whispers something dangerous. Just one more. It happened on a Wednesday. The market had been shaky, but Daniel wasn't worried. He believed he cracked the code. He believed he could survive anything. So he did what destroys even the best traders. He used leverage, heavy leverage. He opened a massive position, bigger than anything he'd ever risked, because he thought he saw a perfect setup. It wasn't perfect. It was a trap. The market dipped, just a small dip. But with leverage, small dips become earthquakes. Daniel watched his screen as his $2 million started melting. $2 million to $1,700,000, then to $1,200,000, then to $800,000, and finally $400,000. He froze, he couldn't breathe, he couldn't think. And then it came liquidated, one word that ended everything, his entire account. Everything he built, gone. Not because he was stupid, not because he gambled, but because success blinded him. In one night, Daniel went from millionaire back to the man with nothing. Daniel didn't return to the markets for months. He disappeared from forums, chats, groups. Nobody knew what happened to him. But privately, he told one person, "I knew how to win, but I never learned how to stop winning." And that's the lesson this story gives us. A trader's enemy is never the market. It's the belief that the market owes you something. Daniel's rise teaches us it's possible. His fall teaches us it's dangerous. Discipline made him rich. Ego made him poor. And the truth is, almost every trader's journey ends the same way. If you're watching this, don't just admire Daniel's success. Understand his mistake. You can build something extraordinary. You can grow. You can win. You can change your life. But only if you learn how to protect success once you achieve it. If you want more powerful stories like this, stories that teach, inspire, and open your eyes to what the market really is, subscribe. We're building the biggest finance and trading channel on YouTube.